Yo, what up, guys? Beside me here with a champion guide for one skinwalker epic champion who has one purpose in Raid Shadow Legends. Disappointing, yes, but for that purpose, he does it really well. Better than most, epics or even legendaries can do in Raid, and that's poisoning an enemy wave, the entire enemy waves. If you know what I'm talking about, his name right here is Taurus. This champion has been in the game for a long time and is very good at that job at placing poison on all the enemies AoE. Best used in wave content against waves, and that's what it does for your team. Unfortunately, that's the only thing that he does. We've been seeing if this champion can be used in any other places besides that role as just a poisoner who just sacrifices his entire health and then goes to unkillable or something, which he can't really sometimes really revive from. So what does it do? Taurus, that's the only thing that you're going to be using this champion. Where is it? That's it right here. This champion receives damage equal to 99% of their current HP. That means no matter how much HP you have with this champion, he's going to go to 1 HP. He places unkillable buff on himself for 2 turns, has a 80% chance that is booked up to a 100% chance of placing poison debuffs on all enemies. Because his magic affinity, you want to use him against magic or spirit or even void, but against force he most likely might not place poison sometimes on the enemies if he gets a weak hit. So that's something that you should know about this champion right here, Taurus. He places poison, and that's the only thing you should know about him. He does kind of hit hard a little bit with this A1, which heals him by 20% of the damage inflicted on the target if they have poison. And then this A2 he uses sometimes again, who places a weaken. This one can come in handy if is your only option for faction war, but he does not keep himself alive in any way besides that 1 turn unkillable buff. Is it 2 turns? Place unkillable buff on this champion. Okay, 2 turn. It looks like it's for 1 turn because immediately he places it, it just counts at 1. It shows 2 and then he takes a turn, and then it counts at 1 turn. So you will see it in battle when I test it out. That's what this champion does. That's the only thing you will see me test this particle in. It may be in Dragon or an Ice Golem. Those are the 2 places most people use a poison explosion team for. Yes, that's something. You always see him being featured in poison explosion team, but nobody ever gives him the props he deserves for making those poison explosion team with Zavia and Elanaril possible. So unfortunately, that's the only place it's going to be used. Now I know poison is one way to do damage in the clan boss, but does that mean because he places 4 poisons he should bring into the clan boss and he has a weaken? If you have no other options, some people even prefer a frozen bouncy rare over this champion. That's something to note right here. If I show you my Taurus, you see him at level 50. That's where it has been for a long time, but recently I was looking for champions to take to 60 and I took him to level 60. He does not deserve to be level 60 because he's gonna take his HP back to 1 HP after he just starts the battle. So that's why I'm not spending the rest of my brews to take this skill, this HP to 60. He's gonna stay here. His XP will stay here. He will gradually farm and get it. I just wanted to level some champions to 60 and it was the only one available, so I did that. All right, so but take in mind that this champion can work perfectly well at level 50. It's not one that must be 60 to benefit. This also champion does not benefit that much from masteries. Yes, the only thing is there for that A3, so it's just poison, so he's not gonna do crazy amount of damage. And I guess if you want to build that type of damage set. So what do you expect from this champion? Accuracy. That's what people who place poison needs. What else do you expect from this champion? Speed, to go at least go first before your damage dealer or poison explosion champion will go. So that's most likely how people build him. As long as you are faster than your poison explosion Elanaril or poison explosion Zavia, that's the 2 places. So if you do not have a Zavia and if you do not have a Elanaril, does that mean you shouldn't build this champion? I guess if that's poison is how you want to deal with the waves and the boss, you could build him, but remember he will probably go down if you don't put some sustain on him. So the first artifact set I will recommend on this champion is a lifesteal set for early game players, lifesteal, and then one set of perception or 1 set of accuracy, just to boost you up in case you don't have banner by then. At level 50 he doesn't also has his banner slot unlocked, right? Yeah, I think so. At level 50 he won't has a banner unlocked, so you can leave him at level 50 like that. I just rebuilt him and its stats will be looking high even if he's level 36. These are good gear, but take note that I did not focus on a particular set. Why? Because he wasn't a champion that deserved my perception set. That's how much I'm supposed to be a champion guy, champion spotlight, but I'm kind of underrating this champion because up till today, there's only one place I've used him, and that's a poison explosion thing with Zavia. I wish there was more to this champion. I wish I could hype him up to you can use him here, use him here. No, he's just going to be the champion who places poison explosion. Zavia explodes. Whether you're using him in the Dragon, Ice Golem, Fire Knight Wave, or even in Doom Tower. Yes, I've seen some people use Zavia poison explosion in Doom Tower along with other champions who place poison. So that's 8 poison. You explode those Doom Tower waves. Even at hard, just go bye-bye, especially with decreased defense and weaken in there. So that's somewhere he can help you out. But once you get a seer, this champion goes in the vault. Once I got a seer, my poison explosion team went to the vault, and he just came out of the vault to do the showcase for you guys. So if you're wondering whether it's still good in 2023 or 2024, his position in raid is still number 1 as champion who just places a bunch of poison for Zavia to explode. So that's the beginner artifact set, lifesteal. And then for those players who has the good accuracy set, where is my accuracy set? I just scroll past it. If you have some accuracy set, he needs accuracy to land those debuffs. For Dragon 20, you probably need about 200 accuracy and you're fine. If your Zavia is 150 speed, it should be 160 speed. If your Zavia is 180 speed, it should be 185, 181 speed. So as long as it's faster than your poison explosion. If you do not have a Zavia or Elanaril, then why are you building the champion? That's go build a Venom Mage. Go build a there are other poisoners, even if they place only 2 poisons. Here I am again underrating him. They are in my vault. But I'm saying we have other poisoners in raid like Venom Mage or other champions who can do just 2 poison AoE poisons, or somebody like attack in a toxic set people use against wave. As those little poisons, they even appreciate it more than this poison that will just use it once and sacrifice his entire HP. But keep him alive with some regen sets, keep him alive with lifesteal. Maybe he'll get his HP back a little bit when he deals a little bit of damage from the A2 or A1 on the enemies. So what about masteries? Like I said, since I wouldn't recommend you build this champion level 60, leave him at level 50, I also do not recommend you put masteries on this champion. So I just got this one to get him a little bit of those accuracy, and crit rate. So that's all. It's fine. I'm not gonna recommend you put masteries on this champion. Normally, if you do want to use him in clan boss for some reason or for some other content, you always want to go to one master with a damage dealer like this who uses his A1 and A2 to hit the enemies. That's what he might need to heal him back to full HP, I guess, if you have lifesteal on him. But it's not recommended to go masteries. I wouldn't wait masteries on this champion. I would say I've not done it because I didn't have time. No, I didn't do it because he doesn't deserve my gems or my time in the Mino to be farmed for masteries. So whether I'm going to use him for faction wars or for dragon, he works fine without masteries. One of those few champions who do not need it, and there are very few in raid who do not need masteries at all. For books, this is the only skill, of course, you need to book to make it be on a 4-turn cooldown and be a 100% chance of landing that poisons on the enemy. 4 poisons, right? I think so. All right. It's time for us to head into some battle and see what he can do in battle. You probably already know if you've seen him in some other content. People hype the Zavia, like I say, people hype them in Elanaril, but he is the champion that makes it happen. So this is a team I put together right here, showing Zavia and sort of a beginner friendly except Kaima. But I'm just here to put a little bit more poison in case the 4 poisons he places is not enough to explode the waves. You probably need somebody else to come in there with extra 2 poison. 6 poisons is enough to even explode dungeon 25 teams. Yeah, 6 poisons is more than enough. So maybe 8 poisons if you go higher to hard 10. I've not tried poison explosion in hard 10 content, but it might also work. So the more poisons you have on the enemy, or for Elanaril, the turn count of the poisons also consider when exploding them. So this is what I recommend a team like this goes for him if you're using a poison explosion. So let me just run the battle and you'll see what he does in battle in detail. So on auto, he's always going to start the battle. Let me put it on slow speed. His Venom Mage is faster than him. So that's 2 poisons on the enemy. And he will start placing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of poisons on the enemy. And then paired with decreased defense and weaken if you have a Lydia, and then going with your explosion. So that's Zavia explosion right here. So people see her doing the big damage, like, but he is the champion who made it possible. There's not a lot of champions who have 4 poisons. Well, I know 2 epics who do it, and then I think one legendary who has it passive. And yeah, we'll reset our skills, and this is how people build speed teams for the dragon, speed team for the ice golem, because he's one of the facilitators of that speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's unkillable. He's on a 2-turn cooldown. So I've seen right now that he goes unkillable for 2 turns. That means if he's being hit, he probably will survive 2 times before they finally take him down. And explosion. So why I said there is not much use for this champion is when you get to the boss, he becomes a little bit useless because you have more poison. The boss bar is already full with poison, so there's no much space to even land 4 poisons. So his poisons are no longer needed. Whether you bring along he placed the weaken, right? Yeah, he did place that weaken right here, because I now have no other place in putting a weaken than him. He's doing some hits on his A1 though, and he kind of delays your run. See, he's going in there and hitting. When you just want the battle to be faster, he just delays it. I'm about to see him do his poisons. See, 1. There's no spot. He's landing poisons, and the bar for poisons 10 debuffs is already full. So you don't need that much poisons on the boss, whether it's 20, 25, whether it's you're beating ice golem. You don't need that much poison also on those contents. So the only way where is best used is the wave for poisons. All right, let me put it in 2 speed, and let's end this battle with Zavia exploding. And that's a speed team for you. I put it slow, that's why it's 2 minutes, but he's a lot faster than that for this particular reason. So that's the only reason to use him. Ice golem wave, fire knight wave, dragon wave, or against the boss, he just does a bunch of poisons. All right, so if you're wondering how it works, that's how it works. If you guys use this champion without Zavia, if you use him without Elanaril, I'd love to know how you use him, how you built him, because right now in raid, I only recommend newer players to take him to level 50 and then just use him for that time. Because once you get a Seer, once you get an Acrisia, once you get somebody else doing crazy damage in your dungeons wave content, you will no longer rely on a poison explosion team. For endgame players, they are moved on for poison explosion. Even at hard 10, people don't usually use poison explosion, but it's still one of the first viable ways that most players get introduced into speed teams in the arena and taking down the wave in less than 10 seconds. When you get there, wave 1 is dead, wave 2 is dead, and then you can deal with the boss. He's one of those champions who makes it happen. So that's Taurus. That's his champion guide. There's nothing much to say about him. I hyped him up a little bit and showed his downside, because I wish there was more we could do with this champion besides just sacrificing his HP and then just dying. All right, let me know. I'd love to hear how you guys use him, because this is literally the only way I use him in Dragon, in Ice Golem, and maybe Fire Knight Wave sometimes. Later guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid Shadow Legends content. Comment below which champion you want me to take a look at and build and test out in next video. Later guys.